No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I
point.
just said to you, it should be the entire West as a group, as a bloc, negotiating with Putin.
What do you think?
Peace. And
what do you think? Jason,
it's fine for Xi Jinping to be part of that. I welcome Xi Jinping, Germany, and the United States, and France, and the UK all getting together and trying to get these two parties to settle.
What do you think we're doing? What do you think we're doing right or wrong with China right now?
Right or wrong with China?
Yeah, what do you think we're doing right and wrong, or right, wrong, or?
I think we should be in discussions with them consistently. I don't believe we should be isolating them. I think we should be looking for areas we can collaborate on, the environment, technology.
But you agree with the CHIPS Act. You agree with basically onshoring and nearshoring all the critical infrastructure we need. Is that?
I think we should not be dependent on any foreign. We should have energy security. We should have medical technology. Of course, yes. But I think every country should. I think China should have that. We should have it. Every country should aspire to be resilient and not be dependent on another country. And being dependent on a dictator like Germany was on Putin, or we were with China for medicines or for, medical equipment or chips. We do not want to be in that position ever.
Well, let me ask one question. Just on Ukraine, just for a second, Jake Cal. Would you be willing, in order to achieve a peace deal for Ukraine, would you be willing to agree to two things? Number one, that Ukraine would be a neutral country instead of part of NATO. And number two, that we would recognize Crimea being part of Russia. Would you be willing to give those two things?
I think that's not up to me. I think it's up to the people of Ukraine and Russia to sort this out. And it's up for the West to set the table for them to do it. And part of setting the table for them to do it is to make it more painful for them to stay at this war. So if they are told, if you keep fighting over these things and you don't come to a resolution between those two parties who have to live with that resolution, that is the uncomfortable thing that will force them. And that could be China, us, and India all working together, all of us working together to force those two parties into a solution that works for them.
We have Brad for 10 minutes. I want to move on. Okay. I want to show you guys a tweet about Harvard students, and I want you guys to react to Draymond's comments because they're just fucking incredible. I don't know if you guys saw this, but isn't that unbelievable? It says there was a study at Harvard that found that 43% of white students there are legacy athletes or related to donors or staff. That's unbelievable.
Is that public knowledge or is that like kind of leaked information? I wonder. This is from Dolores Handy. I don't know who that is. Maybe we could click on who the source of that is. Legacy's got to go, right? That concept, should that just go away?
Yeah.
Is there a valid reason to have legacy?
Is there a valid reason to have legacy?
It feels unfair. It feels un-American that these important institutions give preference to people who are stupider and achieve less if this is an achievement-based system. It just feels unfair.
Yeah. I mean, well, we know that the first class had 0%. And so we know what the trend line looks like. Yeah. So at some point we're approaching 100%. I think we're just debating
just an open question, right? Open question.
One of the things I would like to see, Chamath, is what's the relative performance 10 years after graduation between the legacies and the kids who had to fucking scratch and fight to get into the place.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I think we know the answer.
Well, you would think they would be higher performers, the latter group, but you would also think that if legacy got you into Harvard, then the legacy and your grift is going to get you into other things, right? You'll have the in other places.
They're the ones who are miserable and walking around, rich and haven't achieved anything.
Yeah. Listen, Sachs didn't get into Stanford based on his dad's buying a building, right?
Well, that's for sure.
Okay, so here is a video from